I will also pin today's topic. Okay. Um, I'll also pin today's topic, that is topic how to handle change, which is everywhere. Yeah. So this is the latest constant everywhere. Hey Sanchita, thanks for joining. So we'll wait for some more time. How have you been? It's long time we caught up. Okay. I will just wait for some time, maybe a minute or so, because I'm early today. I will also tell it. Maybe there's a story. When some more people join, I will tell why I am early. I'm searching for my specs. Okay. Okay. Hey, thank you. You remember? Hi, Madhushri. You remember the other day we went to that place and we took pictures, Sancheta, together, and I loved that picture. That place was also awesome. Yeah. Okay. Hi, Madhushri. I logged in early today. Maybe I am also not wearing watch, so we'll wait for maybe a minute and then we will start. So today's topic is how to handle change. Change is everywhere now. Everything is changing. Day and night things are changing. Mood is changing. Situations are changing. Everything is changing. So it is very, very important for us to know how to handle change. For that matter, I will also tell you a story just today before coming to this to the session. How I handle change. So before I could actually go and talk to you guys, it's always been a pleasure for me that I apply whatever I'm going to talk, so that I talk with much more conviction. So yeah, so I'm back to my old setup. So that plays on time. Yeah, I am little bit before time because I wanted to get into the groove. So I feel that so if you are like on the dot at 6 o'clock, then I'm still not into the groove of talking. So I place myself and the situation and the room and all this thing. And so how are you, Madhushri? How have you been? Good. Okay, so let's get started. Maybe we will get started. I will not delay. So what is 6:04? Okay, fine. We'll get started then. So guys, like you know that today's topic is about change. Yeah, how we can handle change, and so I will be sharing with you the life cycle of a change. Basically, how change happens and the whole life cycle of a change. So it's very important for us to know the life cycle of the change, because once we understand the life cycle, we appreciate it much more, and then we also can handle it with much more ease. So that is very important. So before that, I want to show you guys a handmade laptop or mobile holder. This is made by my husband from an Amazon box. So this is very handy for me to keep the paper, and then while talking it becomes very easy. Thank you guys. So recycle, reuse. So this is the mantra now which we are following. Okay, so coming back to the topic of change. Hey Tanushri, thanks for joining. So today's topic is how to handle change. Change, like I was mentioning, it's everywhere. It's the environment is changing, the situations are changing, life is changing. I mean, who would have ever imagined that we will oh, thank you so much, Madhushri. So who would have even imagined that we will work from home for so long. It was like maybe once in a while we used to work from home, but now it is like yesterday only we had in our office 100-day celebration of working from home. Can you believe we worked for 100 days at a stretch from home? So things are changing. So we should also know and keep ourselves motivated and knowledgeable how to handle the change, because change sometimes can be very it can be overwhelming, some things which you don't like, but still you have to go through it. For example, you bought a new pair of shoes, yeah, and you loved it while you were buying it. Very beautiful pump shoes with beautiful red color pump shoes and beautiful heels, which you have been dying to buy it. Now you've bought it. Now what next? You bought it, you wore it on the first day, and it was awfully painful. Trust me, awfully painful. I mean, all of you would know that, buying a new shoe and then wearing it, but still you have to kind of leave your old pair of shoes and then slowly transition into your newer pair of shoe, because A, you like it, and B, that's a need, because your old one is worn out for any reason. So that is what it is like. It gives you pain initially, but you still get used to it. So that is how change happens to you. So before we move into knowing the life cycle of a change, so like I was mentioning, today I will take you through the life cycle of a change, and I will also give you 5 tips or 5 ways in which you can handle change with much ease, and it'll be a peace of mind. Yeah. So the first, change is like a new shoe. I already mentioned about it. It's like a love-hate relationship. Yeah. So you love it, but you hate wearing it. It's something like that. Change is something like that. The next thing is that it takes effort to break from a routine. Yeah. So typically a routine is something which we are used to it. Yeah. We get up in the morning and like it's automated. We get up in the morning. First thing we do is go to the washroom. We brush our teeth. So that's a routine. You don't have to think twice. You don't have to put any additional effort from your side to get into the groove of getting into the washroom and brushing your teeth. Now comes the change. Now, for example, if you are going into a sustainability mode and want to replace your, say for example, your old plastic toothbrush to a bamboo toothbrush, because you want to you are more following a sustainable life. Now there's a change. Now the routine is not changed, but the element inside that routine has changed. Now you get up in the morning, like automated routine, you go to the washroom, and then you don't see your old toothbrush, you see your bamboo toothbrush. There comes now you are like little bit out of your automated zone. Now you will feel a little bit more uncomfortable. Say for example, oh okay, so this is not my old toothbrush, this is my newer one. So there's a change that has happened. So now over a period of time, what will happen is you will get used to this brushing your teeth with the newer toothbrush, that is a bamboo toothbrush, and that will become your automated routine. So change is something, it is like a habit, and when you move out of your habit, you're moving out of your comfort zone, you're moving out of your automated actions. That is when we should know how to handle that situation of moving out of your comfort zone and handling change. So that is an instance of a change. So this was a very small and a very simple example of handling change. This is like we are still in the routine, we are still getting up, we are still brushing our teeth, only the toothbrush is replaced. Now the major change, I will take the example of a major change that is happening in all of our life. That is the coronavirus, which has changed the whole way we think. Our thinking pattern has changed, our lifestyle has changed, our working patterns have changed, our everything has changed. So this is a change which, by taking this example, I will take you through the life cycle of change, and by taking the similar example, I will take you through how you can handle the change in a much subtler way, not making it much more overwhelming. Okay, so that brings me to the life cycle of a change. So once we understand the life cycle, it becomes very, very easy for us to appreciate that this too shall pass. Yeah. So nothing is constant. Similarly, change is the only constant. So like din ke baad raat, raat ke baad din. So it's a cycle. So the first stage of change is resistance. Yeah. Resistance is something you simply don't want the change to happen in your life. That is the first stage of change. So initially, when coronavirus lockdown, specifically I'm going to talk about the lockdown scenario. Initially, when the coronavirus lockdown had come in our life, we were resistant to it. We did not want to accept that. We were in a negation that how can this happen? This is not going to happen. This is not going to last for a longer period in time. So that is how we were resisting the change. So this is the first life cycle of change. Now, moving on from that resistance, slowly we went into a state called hesitance. Okay, so when you know that there is no way you're getting out of it, yeah, so the resistance has slightly moved into hesitance. You know you have to accept the change, you know you have to live by the change, but still you are you're not accepted it fully. Yeah, so this, you're in between your resistance and acceptance, which is the third stage of change, third stage in the life cycle of a change. So let me quickly recap. The first stage in the life cycle of a change is resistance. The second stage in the life cycle of a change is hesitance, wherein there's no other way apart from accepting the change, but you have still not accepted the change as such. That's the second stage. Now moving on to the third stage, that is acceptance. Here is when you reluctantly accept the change. Reluctantly, you are trying to adjust your daily schedule, you're trying to adjust your daily way of living without a help, without everybody staying around, without trying to maneuver all the, especially for us women, without any help. And you also have to cater to your family, you have to cater to your work, you'll have to cater to your kids. So this is slowly you're getting into the groove of handling change. So this is your third stage of change, wherein you have accepted that there is no other way than to handle it, than to accept it and move on with it. Now, the next stage of change, which is the fourth stage of change, that is actually performance. Very, very important stage of change, wherein you have accepted that there is change which has happened. You have also tried out different permutation combinations as to what works, what doesn't work, how should I work and how I shouldn't work. And then you have come out with an optimized routine. You have come out with an optimized way of handling different situations inside the lockdown period. That is when you are performing. Yeah, that is when you are focusing on your self growth. That is when you are focusing on your hobbies. You're focusing on how you can do more in spite of taking care of hi Gurmit, thanks for joining. In spite of taking care of your family, in spite of taking care of your kids. So that is where the performance comes into the picture. So that is the fourth life cycle of change. So the first life cycle, like I mentioned, quick recap: resistance, hesitance, acceptance, and now we are into performance phase, wherein we want to do more, we want to utilize this situation, we are taking it into a more positive way to utilize the situation to better ourselves. Now the next stage is very funny, yeah, so that becomes a habituate. Okay, so now you remember the first example I told you about brushing the teeth. When you get up in the morning and without any nobody telling you, like a zombie, you get into the washroom and then you just brush your teeth. It's automated, it's a habit. Similarly, this, after so many days, after you have gone to the performance stage wherein you're giving your 100%, your output is amazing, your productivity is good to whatever extent is your standard. So then that this eventually becomes your new habit. Yeah, then this it will used to stay inside and then come in terms with it. So you will stay with this particular situation and you will come in terms of this situation. So you accept it, you are performing well, and now it has become a new habit. So that is what we are currently going through. Yeah, so that's about the life cycle of a change. So quickly recapping: resistance, hesitance, acceptance, performance, and habituate. These are the 5 life cycle of a change. So like I mentioned, why do we need to know the different life cycle of a change? Because when we are into the resistance phase, when we are into the hesitance phase, we should always know that there is performance, there is acceptance, there is performance, and there is habituate. None of these states are going to be permanent. Even the habituate is not going to be permanent. Tomorrow when situation becomes normal, we all know that the virus is not like here to stay for permanent. I'm sure things will start getting better in a period of time, but then this particular thing will become, then coming out of this situation will require us to have a new strategy. Then again resistance will come, then again hesitance will come, then again acceptance will come, performance will come, habituate will come. So this is basically the whole life cycle of change, and knowing the life cycle of change will only give you strong motivation, courage that this too shall pass, and none of the states of change is kind of permanent. Yeah. So now I was just telling to some of the people who joined earlier that today like from the past few sessions, so this is before I actually didn't give any introduction of myself, so I think most of you know, you are my friends, but I am also an image consultant and a soft skill trainer. So before getting into this session, from the past couple of days, what has happened was, whatever I wanted to talk, I had to actually implement those things in my life. Like previous session, it was on time it was on emotional intelligence, and I gave an example that like just before getting into the session, how my son came and then my lipstick was all like blah blah blah, it has all ruined, and then I had two options: either get angry on him and then come to the session with a very disrupted emotion, or just be calm, take a deep breath, it cannot be undone, and then okay, forgive him there, explain it to him later after the session, come into the session with a very good mood. So that is how I could actually practice what I was trying to tell you. Similarly, today when I was talking about change, from the morning I was feeling very low actually. Maybe because it is a very gloomy weather over here, I was feeling very low. I was also telling and sitting and telling my husband that something is weighing me down. I'm not feeling 100% of myself, and I was thinking, should I cancel the session, shouldn't I cancel, or should I still go ahead and have the session? That's when I realized that I'm also an image consultant. I also know the importance of colors. I took a bath, and then I predominantly and intentionally picked up a red color. Yeah, so here's a tip which I'm going to give you guys. If you are feeling low and you have to present yourself with high energy or high kind of a with energy, if you have a presentation to give, if you have a meeting to attend, if you have any important, say for example a marriage function you have to attend, that is when red comes very handy. Yeah, it gives you this is a tip, so you're hearing it from me as Manisha, as an image consultant. So red is a color of vigor, red is a color of power. If you are feeling low and you need that extra kick of energy, go wear red. So I was looking through my wardrobe and I wanted to find out a red which I wanted to wear, so that I have that extra kick of energy and I'm able to talk to you guys. So that's the reason why the brides, they generally prefer wearing red, because it's a daunting task standing out from the morning to from throughout the evening. You have to stand, smile, gesture, thank you, kaise hai, all those things you have to do. You need that energy, and on the top of that, and most of our customs, they are not even eating, they are on fast. So that's the reason why brides are made to wear red specifically during their marriage day. So that's one tip, guys. So if you want more such tips, so do follow me in my website manishabhattacharya.com, and also in my Instagram account, Coach with Manisha B. I will share it along when I'm publishing this video. So please follow me over there. You will keep getting this tips on different colors. Okay, so now moving on to the next step. The next step is tips to handle change. So before I gave you the tips to handle change, I gave you a small tip to how you can lift up your mood by using color. Okay, now the first and foremost tip, so I will continue with my same example of the lockdown. So we saw how lockdown and the different stages of change into the lockdown. Now moving into the tip. The first tip, very very important, is be present. Yeah, this is something we don't do. What is being present? Being present is being mindful. Being present is you are taking breath, you are alive. So that is being present. respect each breath, pay attention to your breath. So that is being present. We focus too much kal kya hoga, we focus too much what's it going to be, what if my neighbor gets corona, what if somebody else get corona very closely located to me, what if I get corona, or what if. There are lots of what if. Either our mind has a tendency to either think of the future or repent or think of the past. So what we have to do is we have to make ourselves to think and be present. Very, very important to be present. How we can do that? We can do that by focusing on now. Just before this session, like I was mentioning, I was feeling very, very low, and I was somehow feeling that there's a lot of energy which was draining out from me. I sat and did a Raj Yoga meditation. So this is one more tip, guys. Raj Yoga meditation, which directly connects you to that supreme power. So if you can just go to Google, you can YouTube, you just look for Raj Yoga meditation. This is something, it was for 5 minutes, I think so. You did it for 5 minutes, and then any kind of meditation, either you can focus on your breath. So basically you'll have to keep your mind centered and not wander from past to future. Just bring it to the present. So that is how you can do that. You can do more meditation. The days wherein you are feeling more anxious, the days wherein you're feeling more anxious about the change, what will happen, you're feeling more overwhelming about the change, spend more time doing smaller meditations, maybe 5 minutes. Sit in one place, close your eyes with all the distractions. You can, if there are too much distraction, you focus on those noises, and then you can do meditation. There are different ways of doing meditation. So that is one thing. The first thing is be present. If you are present, you're alive, you're breathing, your family members are with you, everything is fine. That itself will make sure that every movement which is going to come will be fine. That's the power of law of attraction. That is first thing. Second thing, do not overanalyze the situation. We are getting too much into overanalyzing the situation. We are getting too much into overthinking. A simple task, for example, I'll give you an example. A simple task, say if I have to go somewhere or if I have to go to the office, then it's like, okay, I have a meeting at 9 o'clock, I have to go to the office. This is a simple task, but how we make it complicated? Oh God, मेरा गाड़ी चलेगा? Oh God, traffic रहेगा? Oh God, what if I become late? Oh God, what if I can't have my breakfast? So this what ifs are actually making us overthink. They are actually making a simple situation very, very complicated, which is draining all your energy. The energy which you should actually store for you to perform in your meeting, or the energy which you should store for you to kind of perform in the activity that you're doing it on a day-to-day basis, that is somehow getting drawn into this over analyzing the situation, overthinking of the situation. So this is the second thing. Do not overanalyze the situation. You have to go to a meeting, you have to go to a meeting, just focus on that and you go ahead in that track. Similarly with this lockdown situation, do not overanalyze. Vaccine आएगा कि नहीं, कब आएगा वैक्सीन, इंडिया में आएगा, whether it is going to come from India, whether India is going to get it. Do not overanalyze the situation. Things will happen when it has to happen. You just be present and focus on your now, and then go ahead and lead your life, do your duties, perform your actions. So that is the second tip. Do not overanalyze the situation. The third tip, very important, guys, have shorter goals. For example, like I mentioned you, in this different stages of life cycle of a change, the performance is one stage wherein you can actually you can have shorter goals. So how you can transition from the different stages of changes is to have shorter goals of the change. For example, now during the starting of the lockdown, we were very anxious. We were in our resistance phases, wherein we didn't wanted to accept the change. We were like, this is not going to happen, this is not going to stay. So that is what we should do, is we should have shorter goals. For example, in this week probably I am going to achieve these things. So that is a shorter goal. I'm not thinking what I will do the week afterwards, how I'm going to handle the situation the week after that. I don't have a maid. Okay, today I am going to do only these things. Today I am going to only mop. Today I am not going to sweep. For example, I'm talking from a female's point of view who has to manage everything without a help and all those things during this current scenario. So the whole point is have shorter goals so that you are not over analyzing the situation. Like you can see, all these tips are interconnected. You cannot, it is not that you do one and you not do the remaining, you will be able to handle the change with much ease. All these goals, all these tips are interconnected to each other. So if you have shorter goals, you will not over analyze the situation, and eventually you will be in present. You will focus on the present, how you can achieve your shorter goals. So that is the third tip. Have shorter goals. Don't overthink and over analyze. The fourth point is trust the process. This is something which we forget. This is something which we don't tend to do. We don't trust the process. We always find out the negatives out of the process. We always think maybe something bad will happen. You should always trust the process. The process itself is very beautiful, and once you have sailed through the change, and then when you look back, you would definitely appreciate the process. How many times you would have while you were going through different changes in your life, you would have felt that, God, why I have to go through all these things, and you were cursing for you to go through all these things. But later, when you have been through the change, when you have overcome the change, and when you look back into the situation, you feel so good about yourself. You feel so proud about yourself that you were able to handle and manage all the change by yourself. So that is why it's very, very important to trust the process. It is all for good. Trust the process. Things will happen for good. That particular positivity we have to keep in ourselves and go ahead and handle the change. Okay, so that brings me to the last tip, that is be positive about it. So like I mentioned, guys, all these tips are interconnected. You cannot have a negative mindset. If you have a negative mindset, you will definitely not be able to trust the process. If you are not trusting the process, you cannot create goal for yourself, how you can survive this particular change, or how you can pass or move through this change, adapt through this change. So, and if you are not having a shorter goals, or if you're not having goals for yourself, you will definitely sit and scroll news after news, scroll and overanalyze the situation, and you will definitely not be present. You're definitely not enjoying your present moment. So this all 5 tips are interconnected, guys. So I would request you that do not skip any tip, and then you don't focus on only on 1 or 2 tips. So quickly, just to recap everything, the first thing is that be present. Second thing is don't over analyze the situation. Third is like have shorter goals. And fourth is like trust the process. Fifth is like be positive about it. So guys, this is how you can handle change basically, and this series is a part of my Why I Fail What I Learned series. This is my session 5 on how you can handle change. My previous sessions wherein I spoke about my life in a nutshell, the girl from another world. The second one was no tutor, no mentor. So the third one was how you can do more out of this 24 hours, how you can plan your day in a much better way so that you can do more in this 24 hours. That was my third session. My fourth session is 3 stages of being emotional intelligence, for you to know how emotionally intelligent you are, how you can handle your situation much better. So that was my fourth session. Now the fifth session is how to handle change. So I have planned a couple of more sessions, and I keep updating all the blogs, all the session information, whatever I go through, it's there in my Facebook page, as well as it's there in my website, that is www.manishabhattacharya.com. Guys, please visit. You would get all the information of all the sessions except for this one and the previous one. So I keep putting the blogs over there, and the recordings of this session also I update in YouTube, and I would put over there. So basically, just to summarize, so I am Manisha. I am working as an engagement manager in Bosch. Parallelly, out of my passion, I am also a trained image consultant who helps you to look good, feel good, and I am also an aspiring life coach who helps you to kind of feel help other lead a more happy, prosperous and a fulfilling life. So this is basically to sum up my whatever portfolio or whatever my passion, you can say. And guys, if you want any specific topic that you want me to discuss, please you can comment me in this video, or you can also reach me in message or call, anything is fine. But I would really request you to please comment me at the end of this video if any specific topic you want me to take up, so that I would be glad that I can continue this session every week. So with that, if you have any questions, you can put it over here. I would wait for a minute. If not, then we will close the session. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you all guys so much for joining. So any questions, then I will pick up the questions, else we can close the session. Thank you guys for joining. Okay, so if you can also put the question later on in the comment, then we will conclude the session. And put in your comments if you have liked it, what have you liked it, if any improvements you feel that I should bring into the session, please feel free to give me feedback. I would be highly motivated to get feedback from you guys. That's it. And with that, I will close the session. Thank you so much for joining. Have a beautiful weekend and a lovely life ahead. Thank you. Bye. Hope to see you all for the next session. Bye.